All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome to tonight's segment. I hope you're all having a great day. So, during the course of the week, I was trying to figure out what we're going to do for this week's upload. And so I was thinking about a whole lot of things. I was like the current state of politics, entertainment, and even just how did we get here? Well, I remembered that back in January of 23, I did a predictions episode. I covered a whole bunch of different subjects: entertainment, sports, politics, of course, some miscellaneous stuff, even social media. And I decided to go back and watch it. And I was surprised. There was a couple predictions that I made that, well, ended up being pretty dang accurate. At least I think so. And I wanted to share them with you. And I'm sure there's going to be some nuances that are off. But for the most part, the predictions were pretty good. So I wanted to share them with you today, and we're going to cover a couple things. We're going to cover these couple predictions just to have a little bit of fun, but then we are going to cover something serious. And so let's see where it goes. Let's have some fun, and we are going to get back into the meat of things today. So remember, if you like what I'm doing for you, just leave me a like, share this, give me a sub. I'd appreciate it, or even comment below. Let me know if you think my predictions are way the hell off, or even what we're going to cover later on in this segment is, well, I'm dead wrong. But feel free to share. So now let us get to our first prediction. Now I'm going to play it for you in full. And what it's about Elon Musk when he first took possession of X, or Twitter, and what I thought he was going to do with it. And to me, I thought the prediction was fairly accurate, and it still has room to grow as well. So let me know what you think. So let's get to it. Let's play it and see what's going on here.
Next subject. Elon Musk, billionaire, owner of Tesla, SpaceX, and now Twitter.
Yes, I was
couldn't
meditating
come up with
right
anything
there,
for Tesla or SpaceX.
focusing on my
But when I
sixth sense,
think about Elon,
my Jedi powers.
I think about Twitter and how much of a cesspool Twitter has been the last 10 years of just everyone just beating up on each other for anything. Mostly politics. And Twitter is a very left-leaning platform. But Elon, more or less our real-life Batman, but without the, Batcave and all that stuff. But with this kind of money, he might actually have a freaking Batcave. And yeah, who knows? But anyway, no, I actually see with Twitter, I see him actually turning the platform into something similar to YouTube, where you can actually post and stream your videos and actually get monetized for them.
Which he has done.
Hopefully, that's what he does. Because based on from the financial records that, are seen all over, the different media platforms, it's losing millions a day. And that revenue has to be made up somehow. And to me, the only way that can be made up is through advertising revenue. And I think with his Twitter Blue, I think it's what it's called, where you pay to get verified or they verify you. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to bring in a few bucks. But I really think that's where he's going to go with it. I think he's going to turn it into a more centrist platform.
Which he has done.
Essentially, both sides hate him.
Which he has done.
And with the YouTubeification, I guess that would be the word for it. I think he would be a great challenge to YouTube. Even though YouTube has been around for, I think it's only almost been 15 years, maybe, yeah, right around 15 years.
Okay, I got to stop it here. The reason why I'm stopping it here is where I meant by the YouTubeification. It's already almost done. We can already see it with the small video clips. But also now, large platforms, even like that are or large channels that are on like YouTube, Rumble, or any of your other streaming platforms, can now broadcast live on X, which more or less has turned it into a more YouTube-like or Rumble style of platform where you can still do your long form video, and of course, you still have your ability to blog or you know write your notes or whatever you want to do, your X's, whatever you call them now. I don't know what you call them because it's X now. It's not Twitter, so they're not called tweets. So whatever, but I'm just saying.
I think that is the direction he is going to take Twitter, is in that space. I wouldn't be surprised if there are similarities to what MySpace used to be. How you could actually customize your own pages. And I could see that happening, where he actually, yes, it's going to be almost like a hybrid between the majority of the platforms. There you go. I think that's what it'll do. It'll be a mixture of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because I think that's where, unfortunately, a lot of the money is being made now, is in those TikTok videos. And I can't stand TikTok.
We all know that.
Of course, it's, I can't stand it. But that's where the money is. And I can actually see it starting off with the shorts, similar to YouTube, and Instagram, and of course TikTok, and developing into something more of a YouTube style platform with a actual physical blogging capability. And I think he really is going to integrate the AI into the platform,
which he really is. He's invested heavily into all the AI algorithms to help enhance X,
where it's going to assist the user to actually develop their own pages. And I can see it. And hopefully it'll actually limit the bot accounts, which I'm sure he's doing. But
okay, that part I didn't get right, because we all know there are a shit ton of bots on X still.
Yes. Twitter, I think, is going to go the way of YouTube, with a mixture of basically Facebook and Instagram, with the shorts and even the longer form video. And I think that is going to be a haven for advertisers. And I think that's how he rescues Twitter.
Okay, so tell me, what do you think? Did that happen to X? What are your opinions? Let me know below. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. This is at 1923. This one is on modern day politics, and it has to do with our current president, maybe even former president, Joe Biden. Because is Kamala really in charge? Who is in charge at the White House right now? Let me know what you think also. Let me know if you think this is even accurate.
All right, folks, here we go. Everyone's favorite team sport, politics. We're going to start off with our current president, Joe Biden. And what I foresee late this year, late fall, early winter.
I was off by 6 months.
Joe Biden will announce he is not running for a second term. I think one more year of the stress, his age, is taking more than a toll on him. I mean, we've seen in several instances where I'll just say he has suffered from senior moments. Walking in the wrong direction on stage, shaking an invisible person's hand, waving to nobody. They're just, it's not to make fun of the man. It's just that's what they are. They're senior moments. I mean, my father's 83 years old. And believe me, I've witnessed plenty
Actually, he just turned 85 this year. So
of senior moments. It's just, it happens with age. With what he has to do, what he would have to deal with going into a second term and campaigning would physically just tear him up. Medical science, today's medical science is just amazing. It's simply amazing the things that we can do. We can manipulate the human body in ways we could have never thought of even 10 years ago. But with poor Joe, I think it'll just be too much on him. And he will say he cannot run for president because of the physical aspects or the physical demand it would have on his body.
man, that's a pretty accurate prediction so far.
And yes, he will attempt to withdraw his campaign. But I will say that the Democratic Party will say that he is running. Not because he wants to and that he knows that the health risks that he would put himself through. The Democratic Party want him for his corporeal body, his name. Even though Joe will not want to do it, he will be physically present, but he will not be in any control if he actually runs for his second term. It'll be the party that is in control.
Ooh.
It will not be Joe Biden.
Ooh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your favorite former president, Donald J. Trump.
So, what do you think of that one? The time scale was off about 6 months, but overall, the entire prediction was pretty dang accurate, don't you think? If you think so, of course, or don't think so, let me know below. Tell me what you think. I'm curious. Was I accurate enough? Was my forethought and prognostication accurate? I don't know. I think it was pretty accurate. I don't know about you. But anyway, that was our lighthearted moments of today's segment. Now we got one more. One more. So, I hear that we got some news from Marvel. Over the weekend, we got this.
As proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
He has returned. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the Marvel Universe as Doctor Doom. It's nice to see the fans excited to have him back. But how are they going to do this? He was Iron Man. Are they going to bring in the multiverse that they're trying to establish to make him Doctor Doom? I'm really curious to see how they do this and how they explain it. Because did Tony Stark go on to become Doctor Doom in an alternate universe and not become Iron Man? And of course, this is going to lead into all the what ifs and all that stuff too. But I don't know. It's like it almost seems like it's desperation on behalf of Marvel. They've gotten lucky so far with the Deadpool release this weekend, which I haven't seen yet, and I do plan on seeing it. From what I understand, it's getting a ton of great reviews. But what concerns me about it is the track record that Marvel has had the last 5 or 6 years, or actually since Endgame itself. Just about everything Marvel that has come out has been just blah or no good or agenda driven. And you look at Deadpool and Wolverine, is it really that good, or is it just a good enough product that's just better than what's been, being released? That's my concern. I mean, could just be just an average movie, which would be, like a C plus or a B minus Marvel movie prior to Endgame. So we don't know. I don't know. And I'm really curious to see how they work this out. And I'll be sticking around for it. I'll definitely see it. And I really can't wait to go see Deadpool. I need something decent. I need a popcorn movie. I think we all need it too, considering what Marvel and what Lucasfilm and what Disney has done to all these properties lately. It's hopefully it'll be a nice, refreshing recharge or a retake on what they're doing. So, but anyway, that's my third, I guess you would say lighthearted, little piece of today's segment. But my next one, we kind of go back into modern politics. Now, we know that Joe has officially dropped out as the, incumbent candidate for the Democrat ticket for running for president. And he has basically endorsed Kamala Harris. Now, years ago, in the 2020 election, Kamala tried running herself. And she ran on her own ticket. And it did not go very well for her. Out of all of the primaries that she ran in, she did not win one. I don't think she has. And she basically polled as probably the least likable candidate that the Democrats could have put up. And it should be a concern for the Democratic Party, even though the fresh polls against Donald Trump show that they're literally neck and neck. I think that's more what I call new restaurant polling. It's like you got a new restaurant that opens up, and what happens? Everyone's curious to go see the new restaurant. They want to taste the new food. So it's those first few months that restaurant's open. They are busy constantly. They are packed to the gills every single night. But then the newness wears off. Reality sets in. And then the customer finally gets to know that restaurant. And in this case, before the election, and the way things are going, as fast as things are coming, people are finally going to get to know who Kamala Harris is. And I want to share a little bit of that with you of who she is. And where you look at Joe Biden as a potential moderate with a lot of left leanings, Kamala simply is a far leftist. I would say she's borderline communist, if not communist. And how do I know this? Well, it comes down to her policies, the policies that she actually promoted during her 2020 election. So there's a couple clips here I want to share with you so you guys can get to know Kamala and what she thinks of basically how things should be run. This first one is more or less about, for me, I like to look at things as equality, where she looks at everything as equity. And there is a difference. And I want you to listen to her explain what the difference is.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right? We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base. We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity. To put equity firmly at the center of our economic policy. But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners.
So, equity versus equality. The best way to put it is, you out there, you have a job. All right. And you work hard. You show up every day, sometimes early, you stay late, work the overtime. You have a great work ethic. You go in every day, you work hard, you advance based on your work. Now think about this. You're working, we'll say 50 hours a week. Equity. Well, there's someone out there that's only working 20, 25 hours a week. And what they want to do, and what she is proposing, what equity is, regardless of how hard you work to advance yourself and make a better life for yourself, equity is basically taking what you're doing, your work, okay, what you've earned, and passing it along to someone who is doing less. Okay, so that person that's working 25 hours a week, all right, they don't have enough, to make a steady living, pay for a house, pay for an apartment, groceries. But yeah, you're out there working your butt off so you can do those things. What she proposes to do is to raise your taxes so that those taxes go to that person who can only work 25 hours a week. So you're not only working for yourself, you're working for someone else who can't sustain themselves. Is it fair to you? No, because you're working hard. You earn that. You earn what you have. You earned your home. You've earned that apartment. You earned that car. You've earned that 401k. You've earned that IRA. But yet, she wants to tax it to where that goes to someone who does not have the ability to go out and do the work that you're doing. Makes it not just your responsibility, but everybody's responsibility to take care of someone else. It's one thing that we have our, social programs, not socialist programs, such as like unemployment, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. It's one thing to pay into those things as you grow up, because when you're to that retirement age, you can't work. If you didn't have a 401k or a retirement, you have to have some means. And that is what you as an individual pay for in your whole working career. So you have something. But the way they want it to work is no matter how hard you work or how little you work, you all end up on the same level. That's communism. Is that what you want as your president? Do you want a person in there that's so far left, they're basically installing communism? It's going to be executive order after executive order. And you think some of the previous executive orders by Biden or Trump were bad. This right here, this is not the candidate for anybody. You're better off voting for RFK than you are for her. Also, I want you guys to understand something. You know what she feels? You know how she feels about a certain demographic, one of the key demographics in a voting block? The way she feels about 18 to 24-year-olds is astounding. But yet they're doing all these TikTok promotions to try and get this generation to come out and vote for her. But the thing is, most of these people don't know how she feels about you. And I can show you how she feels about you. She said it in her own words, how she feels about that demographic. So Gen Zers, this is what she thinks of you. I want you to see this, and I want you to hear it, and I want you to listen carefully.
They are remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
So one of your other bad decisions, if you're 18 to 24 or even 35, that's a bad decision. That is what she thinks of you. That's Kamala. Do your homework. Start researching her. Look at her policies. She's even talked about using executive orders to ban like firearms, which she can't do. It has to be done constitutionally. But she thinks that she can use executive orders to do so. And I'm not talking about just what they consider assault weapons. We're talking about simple handguns, hunting rifles. If she does that to ARs or any, I guess you would say AR style weapon, do you think it's the only one that she's going to do it to? Next thing you know, she's executive order banning handguns. Next thing you know, then hunting rifles, shotguns. Next thing you know, the population is disarmed or being required to use a buyback system as they did in Australia. It's not going to stop the crime. It's not going to stop the violence. Because who's committing these? I mean, look at this recent Donald Trump assassination attempt. All right. The weapon that was used was bought legally by the shooter's parents. Did the parents know that it was missing? No. Not until the incident happened when they called the police. It was a legally purchased gun. But what happened? It wasn't taken by the parent. It wasn't used by the father or the mother, the legal purchasers of the weapon. It was taken by the kid who had intent on doing something. It doesn't matter what kind of laws you put into place. We already have universal background checks because you have to have a background check in order to purchase a weapon. They keep talking about that. We already have it. There are already requirements on gun shops, all of that. You have to go through it all in order to purchase something. The left has absolutely no idea what they're talking about. So that is a little bit about Kamala Harris. So that's going to be it. I'm not going to sit here and ramble on about how much I dislike her or anything like that, because I'll just tell you this right now. I am not with her. I will not vote for that woman. Based on her policies that she proposed in the 2020 election, as she was running for president then. Do your research, people. Look at her platforms. She is not right for this country. You're better off voting for RFK. I am not. I already know that I'm going to vote for Trump. I know it, and I will. And if that makes me a racist or whatever you want to call me, if you want to call me a phobe or ist, go right ahead. Because I care about this country. And I put more trust in him than I do her. So on that, I'm going to get out of here. Remember, give me a like, share, give me a sub, leave a comment below. I'm going to get out of here. I will talk to you guys later. Good night.